Gadeer, thank you so much for joining us. Lena was just telling us of some horrific testimony that she has been hearing from Sweda province of what has been happening there. What sort of messages are you hearing from inside Syria about what has been going on?
Yes, Lucy, thank you for having me. Horrible visuals coming from Syria as we are speaking, from our brothers and sisters who are asking anybody, anyone, any organization, any nearby country just to protect them and save them. What started after the fall of Bashar al-Assad in December as a transition mode, a promising positive signals, now is becoming a campaign of terror against minorities. So it started in February against the Alawites, against the Kurds. In March, it was against the Druze. Last month, it was against the Christian minority. And now, today, again, against the Druze, with horrible visuals of innocent people, elderly, children, women being killed, publicly executed, tortures. I cannot even imagine. We cannot allow having these photos, and we are sending that our state, the state of Israel, emphasizing again and again through IDF, through Israel Defense Forces, through all layers that we are committed to protect our brothers.
Yeah, before we get on to the Israeli response, can I ask you to explain more clearly who it is that is committing these acts inside Syria for those that don't understand the situation? Because we're also hearing reports of clashes with Bedouin tribes.
That's right. So it's a great question, because at first Al-Julani or the new administration said this is not us, this is not Damascus. But let me tell you something, Lucy, regardless if he is controlling or not succeeding to control these factions, for me, it is another proof that this new leadership that the West embraced very well, very rapidly, that now we need to hold our horses. You know, I personally, as a political expert, warned since day one about and talked about the roots of Al-Julani. I called him the jihadist in the suit. I wish see flourishing Syria, but having these factions of ISIS who are very well rooted, equipped, connected to ISIS, people who came from Afghanistan, some of them, Lucy, are not speaking Arabic, they are not from the Middle East, and coming and forcing to adopt Islamism, to change the identity of Syria is unacceptable. And for me, it is another proof that this is a warning signal. This is a dangerous, extreme, I wouldn't say even a leadership. I don't see here secular, educated, liberal leadership. I see terrorism, I see extremism, I see another form of ISIS that's trying to force Islamism and to bring Islamism in a new form, and not to allow minorities to embrace even basic minimal freedom rights.
And Gadeer, when we see live pictures today, which we've been watching in the newsroom this morning, of Israeli Druze crawling under a border fence to get into Syria to try and help people there, what is your expectation now of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's response to what is happening?
So we understand that Trump's administration is trying to put huge pressure on Israel not to intervene, but Israel is saying again and again, and emphasizing that this is against the demilitarization policy that both countries agreed on. As you know, there are direct calls in Azerbaijan and also in Jerusalem, between Syria and between Jerusalem, about kind of forming security agreement that maybe would be translated one day to kind of normalization, Abraham Accords version 2. But for now, when we see in Israel these visuals of not respecting minimal human rights, so now we are holding our horses. Now our IDF is saving, protecting, supporting every civilian. By the way, as we speak, Lucy, from reliable sources, we understand now that there are roughly more than 400 Syrian Druze, including women and children, trying to pass through the border between Syria and Jordan, and the Jordanian authorities are not allowing them. So as we speak, people are killed, and we are urging and calling the all international arena to stop this war and to protect the Druze minority.
Gadeer Kamal Mreeh, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective. It was good to talk to you. Thank you. We'll keep